All right, y'all, this is the Essentials 1 first class in a 4-part series to get you started with boxing. Today we will warm up by skipping some rope, do a little bit of footwork. All we're going to cover today are your straight punches to the head. That means your 1 and your 2, or your jab and your cross. Once we do a little bit of footwork, we'll get into some heavy bag work. After that, a little bit of defense, and then we'll call it a wrap from there. All right, we got Peggy here today. She's been boxing for a while. She's going to take us we will take you through your first essentials class. You're going to get on the rope. If you don't have a rope, you can just stay on the balls of your feet and make believe that you're skipping. Let's just get you on the balls of your feet, trying to follow along as best you can that way. Or, for example, some people can follow along skipping on the balls of their feet, but they can't quite full-on skip rope yet because of the impact into their joints. So that's going to be your modification for today. This first round is going to be 2 minutes. Matter of fact, all of the rounds that we work on today are going to be 2 minutes long. If you're super new and really looking to get in shape to be able to do this more long-term, please be patient with yourself. Give yourself breaks. You always have the option of working on 30-second increments, meaning 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. Otherwise, just know that the rounds are 2 minutes long. If you are on the other end of that spectrum and you are looking to train 3-minute rounds, you always have the option of pausing the video, getting your 3 minutes of work in, and then just following along with the instruction between rounds. First round, we're going to work 30-second intervals where she's just going to get the rope under both feet, meaning she's going to jump up about the same time with both feet and land with equal-ish amount of weight in both feet. She'll do that for about 30 seconds. I'll have her switch, and when she switches, we're going to have her do a little, we call weight shift, or a little side-to-side action. And she will be transferring the weight from one foot to the next, as opposed to jumping and moving her entire base from side to side. It'll just be right here, a little weight shift, side to side. All right, let's get ready, Peggy. Get going in 3, 2, 1, and go. That's it. So just going under the feet. If you're following along at home, immediately draw your attention to your breath. As you're breathing, scan your body for any unnecessary tension. Are you holding a bunch of tension up in your shoulders, in your neck? Are you breathing shallow? If so, let's see if we can stretch out the inhale and stretch out the exhale, preferably through the nose. Switch, Peggy. We're moving side to side now. A little weight shift there. Great. Just a little side-to-side action here. Tension on the breath. Eyes forward. Sometimes people will tend to look up instead of keeping their chin in a more neutral position. Switch back to both feet. And at home, especially if you're getting started with skipping, you haven't skipped in a long time. Some people have never really skipped rope. It's okay if you miss a step, just get right back to what you were doing. Let's see if we can keep a couple inches between feet. There you go. Just a little space. Got about 30 seconds left, so Peggy, go ahead and switch. Keep your attention on your breathing. One other little note I'll make, but don't harp on this too much, is to listen to the rope when it lands. Listen for the rhythm of the rope when you're skipping. And it'll start to cue you. It'll let you know if you're lagging. If you aren't hitting the rope, you're in danger of tangling it or hitting the tips of your toes. Time. All right, can you go ahead and take a break? Great, we're going to take about a 30-second break in between rounds. We're going to go another round and have Peggy work on figure eights. Figure eights, what we call figure eights, is where you're going to skip 4 times, and then you are going to carve that rope out in the shape of more or less a figure eight to each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, do the best you can with this. Have some fun practicing it. I find that it helps if you count out loud. In 3, 2, 1, go ahead, Peggy.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh.
That's okay. Let's try to keep it taut.
Yep.
Keep the rope nice and
2,
taut.
3,
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Keep the hands together as you move through.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Keeping the hands together is everything.
Yes, yes. And so what Peggy is just pointing out is the positioning of your hands makes a difference. Sometimes people will really pull their hands apart or cross the arms up, but she's just working to keep the handle more or less together as,
Keeps the rope from getting tangled.
yes, keeps the rope from getting tangled. Good. We're listening for the sound that the rope makes when it hits the ground. Using our sense of hearing. Great. She's breathing. Less than 30 seconds left. Seconds. Time. Excellent. So it's a couple rounds of skipping. We're going to get right into footwork. All we're going to start with footwork is first we're going to establish your stance on the line. You're going to notice that Peggy's going to get on the seam on the floor here. If you have something at home or wherever it is that you're training, you can use or put down a strip of masking tape, something like that, so that you can get your feet in proper alignments to get into your stance and get your guard up. We're going to work by taking 3 steps forward and 3 steps back. Peggy, if you would line up there for us. And Peggy, all I'd like you to do is take 3 steps forward, 3 steps back, no punching.
In guard?
In your guard, as I talk them through with some instruction.
Right.
3, 2, 1, go. So she's just taking 3 steps forward. They're very measured. Now, if she wants to take a bigger step, she can. Or she can go back to those smaller steps. I call them measured steps because what can end up happening sometimes, more often than not when people first start out, they take really big steps forward and find themselves off balance. The problem with that also, especially if you start sparring, is that you end up taking these big charging type steps with your jab and often getting caught kind of jumping in or charging into your opponent. Good. Keep working just like that, Peggy. She's checking her feet, which I recommend you do at home or wherever it is that you are following along. Now let's say that line indicates 12 o'clock. She's facing 12 o'clock on that line, that straight line. Her toes are roughly at 1 o'clock. Great. And she's just going forward and back, really feeling the shift of weight from the back foot to the front foot as she steps forward, and from the the front foot to the back foot as she steps back. That's it. Got about 30 seconds here. Again, we're just taking measured steps. Step, follow. She steps with one foot, follows with the other. Steps with one foot, follows with the other. Step, follow, step, follow. And she's stepping back, so her feet are about shoulder width apart. All right, so that she has a nice solid foundation there. We don't want the feet to come any closer than shoulder width apart. It will make for poor balance because your center of gravity will be up too high. She's in what we call a bladed position. In other words, you can't really see her chest. It isn't square on. Time. So it was just a little over 2 minutes as I talked you through. Again, some points here. A little shoulder width position in the base between the feet, right about here. She puts her dukes up, and so we don't want you to be square. You can see the logo on my chest when I turn square. It makes for a great big target. We have her bladed. We also don't want both of your feet on the line because it will cause you to be tight-roped. It's very hard to throw any punches other than kind of your jab from that position. We're going to move on. We're going to add the jab to that footwork. The jab is always going to be the lead hand. So if you're a southpaw, you would set up on that 12 o'clock line with your body and your toes to 11 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock. So the southpaw, if you are in that 11 o'clock position, hands up, you'll be here. Your lead hand will be your jab, which is your right hand. For orthodox fighters, which is going to be most people, it's going to be your left hand. Your lead hand is your left hand, and that is your jab. It is your first straight punch. So Peggy's going to get on the line in 3, 2, 1, and go. And she is just stepping forward and back with the jab. Good. And Peggy, try not to come back to your face every time with that jab. That's it. So I'm just adjusting her guard so that, and at the end of that, let's close the fist. Yes. At the end of that punch, you want that fist turned over. She step, follow, step, follow, step, follow. Step, follow, step, follow, step, follow. So the jab is used to measure your distance between yourself and your opponent. We like to teach you here at the gym to aim the jab at the eyes instead of the chin. The chin is a perfectly suitable place to aim it. We just try to get the added benefit of blinding our opponent for just enough time to set up the next punch or the next movement. The jab is one of our straight punches. We agree with those who say that the jab is the most important punch in boxing.
Nobody should worry that this isn't a workout. My jab arm's tired.
Yeah, her jab arm's getting a little tired. Let's see if we can relax those shoulders in between, Peggy, and use those legs to drive your punch.
Right on.
There we go. Less than 10 seconds left. A little looser in the shoulders. Try not to, so they kind of creep up on you. So let's see if we can get the back, turn the rib cage into the punch. Time. We'll try that more in just a moment.
Okay. I felt that.
So these are a little correct. There's more nuance to this, right? Right now, we're just trying to get you to establish your stance, get your guard up, and start throwing some fundamental punches so that you can start to become a little more coordinated and balanced. And then we can add things layer by layer from there. Next round, I'm going to have her add a cross. She'll throw a jab, 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 cross. And you'll notice she's not stepping on the cross. She's going to step, follow, step, follow, step, follow with that foot, and then go back this way. There won't be an extra step on the cross. It'll just be on the jab. This is another straight punch. When you throw that cross, you're going to turn the back foot, drive the hips. That's where that force is being generated from. And we're going to deliver this punch just like the jab. We want to deliver the jab along that 12 o'clock line. We're also going to deliver the cross straight ahead on that 12 o'clock line. What's really common and what we don't want is that you throw your cross across your body. So we don't want this action in back. We want straight down there and back. Let's try it, Peggy. 3, 2, 1, and go. Take more of a seat, Peggy. Let's see if we can have you take more of a seat and drive off the legs. That's it. Feel it from the legs, from the base up. Everything about that foundation. Great, that's it. Good. Keep that nose on the 12 o'clock line. If you're at home and you're super new, don't worry about that too much. You'll hear us say it more throughout the courses that we don't want that nose turning away to the 1 o'clock line very much. Really at all, but there are going to be times that you're throwing combinations and it's inevitably going to come off that line, so you don't want to get too rigid about that. But overall, we want to feel that when we throw that jab, we get some drive through the body and rotation through that left shoulder so that it creates an added layer of defense for it. Right now, yeah, don't worry, don't rush through it, Peggy. Let's make it nice and smooth down the line.
Thank you.
Next round, we'll get ready for some back. Yep, really drive off the foot. That's it. So drive off the front foot there and drive off the back foot as you go forward with the jab.
That feels great. Yeah, that's a lot better. Thank
Good.
you.
Yep, and it'll give you more. It'll help you generate more force through the body to deliver the punch, so it isn't all in that poor little shoulder. Release those shoulders in between combos. Straight down the 12 o'clock line and come straight back to the face. Don't rush the two, just make it smooth. Turn. So yep, Peggy, so what's happening is you're throwing straight here and then you're just kind of dropping, coming back. Go straight there and pull it straight back. One more time. Go ahead and grab your gloves. We're going to work on, get some work on the heavy bag. All right, so go ahead and glove up. If you don't have a heavy bag at home or wherever it is that you're training, go ahead and just get ready for some shadow boxing. If you are a more experienced student who's been boxing a while, who's just revisiting the fundamentals and make sure that you are fundamentally sound in your training, you can go ahead and grab some light hand weights. I recommend 3 is really pushing it, 2 is kind of good, even 1 is okay. But if you are super new to this, please do not use any hand weights. They won't be necessary as you're learning your punches and moving around. So if you do have a heavy bag, get your gloves on. We're going to go ahead and train on the heavy bag or shadow box for a little while. All right, heavy bag work. Reminder, we are working on 2-minute rounds with about 30-second rest in between. First round we're going to have Peggy do is practice her cross. So you'll practice your cross for about 30 seconds. Just driving the hips, turning the foot, and rotating that punch over to land with the proper knuckles. And back. Next 30 seconds, she's just going to work on the jab. We aren't doubling or tripling it up here. She's just going to throw one jab, turn it over, and come back. One jab, turn it over, and come back. If you're hitting that heavy bag, remember to make a strong fist when you are landing your punch on the bag. All right, Peggy, let's do it. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Peggy, you're kind of pulling that elbow away from your body. Instead, sit down into that right hip and turn. That's it. You want the elbow to travel this way. Look at me. Instead of. Okay? That's it. There we go. Switch. Now we're working on the jab. Same thing with the elbow.
Yeah. I felt it.
Now we're working on that jab. We want to shoot it straight down the line. A little drive off the back foot to the front foot and back. That's it. across. Straight down the line. Good, and straight back.
Thank you.
Give me more hips. You're trying to create force with the arm.
Okay.
That's it. We want to drive that punch by turning the hips and the rib cage. You need very stable feet in order to do that. If you don't have your footing, then you'll just kind of end up trying to catch your balance. Give me a strong front anchor for that, Peggy. That's it. Back to the jab. Good. Drive off that back foot. Good measuring. Good. So it's got a nice, snappy, straight jab going there. Time. Great. So this next round, we're going to have Peggy work on, Peggy and you at home following along. You're going to work on your 1-2. So when we throw, again, we want to throw these punches nice and straight down the line. We're intending to split someone's guard and get directly to our target. So she will drive a 1-2. Now, if you're really new, it might feel a little hard to land the 2 immediately behind the 1. Your 1-2 may look like a 1-2, and that's okay. Ultimately, what we're aiming for and what I'm going to coach Peggy to do is going to be to throw a 1-2 so that I'm throwing that 2 immediately as my jab is coming back. Let's work on that this whole round. 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. Come all the way back with that 2.
Thank you.
That's it. Back heel should be up. Good. That was a little jagged on that one.
I thought so.
Good. Think about the hips. Drive from the ground up. Turn the hips. Follow with that rib cage. Relax the shoulders. That's it. Now we got a little more pop into the back. That's it. That's it. Listen to the bag for the feedback. Boom! So it should set 2 shots. It should sound like almost 1 long shot. That's it, Peggy. Listen to it and organize your body. There you go.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Around the rhythm or the tempo in the landing of those punches. Nice. Soon, throw that 2 that's it, as the jab comes back. But really turn your hips into it.
Okay.
Good. With a strong front anchor. Listen to it. Bah! Good. Now straighten it out. Just that same rhythm. Time.
A little slow.
That's okay. All right, everyone, so we're taking about a 30-second rest in between rounds. This next round, I'm just going to have Peggy play around with the 1 and the 2. So what that means for you at home is that you're going to throw 1 jab, throw a double jab, sometimes throw a triple jab, and then throw a 1-2 in between. She may throw a 1-2-1-2 just to fire it off and take a little step to the side. Keep breathing in between, okay? Let's see if we can just come back to your balance. Make sure you're in your stance and punch from there. Have some fun with it. Ready, Peggy?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, and go. Good. In between, Peggy, breathe and release the shoulders. Release any unnecessary tension from the shoulders. That's it. That's it. See, now you can deliver punches like that. That's it. Let the legs and the hips carry you. Beautiful. Good. If you're at home, just keep working on this. Come back to your breathing. Come back to your balance. Come back to your guard. Focus your attention, redirect your attention to your breath and the mechanics without getting too stuck on overthinking the mechanics.
Amen. Oops.
Got a little over 30 seconds left in the round. Have some fun with it.
Balance.
Nice pop on that cross. The return of your punch is important. Often people throw a punch very time. Often people will throw their punches and leave them out there and kind of they'll be very slow coming back. This part of the punch is only half of the punch. We want to return, bring it all the way back home into that guard. It's going to serve to act as your defense, to act as a block, potentially, and also to put you in a position to throw another punch again, should you need to or should you want to. So we want to make sure everything's coming back right here. It's going to end up putting a lot more snap into your punch as well. All right, next we're going to get ready to work on some defense. We're going to teach you how to parry your jab, how to parry the cross. Very basic stuff, but a good place to start for some fundamental defensively focused techniques or skills that you can work on. We'll do that for a couple rounds. All right, we're going to work on some defense. We're going to work on parrying the jab, parrying the cross. Peggy and I are going to give you a little bit of a demonstration starting with how to parry the jab. I often call the parry a shield. Keep your shields up so that you are ready to deflect whatever's coming at you. All we're going to do today, and all I want you to get comfortable doing, is kind of turning your hand open. If you watch my hand, I'm using the strong part of my hand, so I get some action here at the wrist as I turn out. Peggy's going to do more catching today than actual deflecting of the jab. But this is a great introduction to just get you turning that hand, putting some force in the strong part of your hand so that you can stop a punch from hitting you, basically. So after we do that for a minute or so, I'm going to have Peggy turn to the camera so that you can continue to work. You're just going to follow along as we're working together. Then she'll turn to the camera and throw a jab. She'll jab at the camera for a while so you have an opportunity to pretend you have a live target coming at you. All right, Peggy, you ready?
Yep. This hand.
Yes. So I'm going to go nice and easy. And if you notice, I go straight down the line. We're just going to stay right in place here. I'm feeling a lot of force from the heel of her hand. That's perfect, Peggy. That's it. So she is just catching and going right back to her guard. Catching, going right back to, very good. This is
How close should I let it get? Should I let it get on the
She's asking how close she should let it get. So for those of you who don't have any experience, of course you can listen, but this is especially for those of you with more experience, how close you should let it get. If I'm parrying a jab, I'm going to let it come to me. I don't want to pull it away from my hand if my opponent is feinting a jab. So I'll have it ready. I will let it get like all the way there so that I know that they're committed to trying to hit me with the jab.
So don't come out here to meet it.
Correct.
Okay.
Don't come all the way out to meet it. Let's give them an example of what not to do. Don't do that. Let's do two more. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Yes, do this. Right? Let the jab come to you. Because if I don't reach her face, it's not a threat to her. Okay? It's not going to hit her. Excellent. Peggy, if you would turn to the camera. And just throw nice, easy jabs as if you're working with a beginner, but straight down the middle. That's it. Great. Good. We're going to continue to do this for about another 40 seconds. Excellent. Good. Strong deflection with the heel of your hand. Pardon me, really we're more catching. If we have experienced folks on here, you can pretend that you are catching it, deflecting it over the shoulders we've covered, or you watch the more advanced videos, how we will cover it in those videos. Otherwise, we're just catching, we're staying calm. One more time, Becky. Time. All right, I can have you come on back. Excellent. So that is pairing the jab. If you feel like you want it, you're like, I want to do this just a little bit more, you can pause the video and repeat that for like a 2-minute round. Otherwise, we're going to move right on to parrying the cross. We're going to use this lead hand now, our jab hand, to parry the cross. Basically, you're doing the same thing with that lead hand, getting a nice, strong heel of the hand. And when I get this parry here, I'm actually, now I'll be getting I won't turn my hand out to catch it. I'll actually be getting a deflection in this direction. So it'll look a little something like, she's going to come over in just a moment, but it'll be more of, as I'm in my guard, here, here, here. All right, Peggy, let's give that a shot.
Turning the hips at the same time.
Yeah, a little turn in the hips is what she's going to give me. That's it. She keeps her eyes on me. Great. And she's sending my hand off this way, which takes me a little off balance for just a quick moment. I have to secure my balance. My punch comes this way, and I have to come that way. So yeah, let's do a few more. Nice and short, just like that. Good. So she's doing a great job of setting an example of, we don't want to flare the elbow. Sometimes people will flare the elbow and drop it down. Instead, she's just giving me a nice sideways deflection. Great. Peggy's going to throw some crosses at the screen or at the camera. Nice and easy, Peggy. That's it, so that you can work on that deflection. Great. Straight, turn it over a little more, Peggy. That's it.
Thank you.
One more. Time. I'll switch places with you. Excellent. So once again, if you would like to do a little bit more work or practice that a little bit more, you can pause the video, practice on your own, or even just rewind it so that you have those punches coming at you in the camera. That is it for the technical boxing portion of your workout. Now you're going to go look through the WODs section, or the workout section in your courses, and pick one of the workouts to end today's session. Okay, workouts are going to be about 10, 12-ish minutes long. Go ahead and pick one of those, do the best you can following the instruction on there, and we'll see you in the next class. All right, everyone, workout of the day. The goal here is to complete all of the exercises exactly in this order, one time through, with a 12-minute time cap. Okay, sometimes I get the question, hey, can I break it up and do half as many reps and move on and come back? So this workout is designed that you don't move on to the next exercise until you have completed the previous exercise. And our hope is that you can complete it in 12 minutes. Now that's not a hard and fast rule. That's the goal, is to try to challenge yourself to complete it in 12 minutes. That said, never compromise good quality movement for just banging out a bunch of reps and trying to get through your workout quickly, okay? If you find that you cannot do a number of the things on here, for example, you don't have a pull-up bar and maybe you don't have a rope or you can't jump at all, even with the modification, that sort of thing, you're running into that, then I recommend you pick another workout that looks more appropriate for where you're at right now. Otherwise, we're doing 25 sit-ups, which we'll demo in a moment, 50 double unders, we'll show you a modification for that, 25 pull-ups, also a modification for that, 50 lunges, then back to 25 sit-ups, back to 50 double unders, and we're going to round it out with 25 burpees. The asterisks indicate spots where we are inviting you to use a light weight for that exercise if, and only if, you feel like you are pretty strong in all of these movements and you would like some added stimulus to your workout today. All right, here's some quick demonstrations of each of the movements that are involved in today's workout and a couple of different modifications so that you have a couple options to choose from should you not be able to do something like a pull-up, for example, or a double under. Peggy's going to show us how to do a sit-up. Long arms, Peggy, coming around. Here's 3 repetitions, but you are aiming to do 25. Excellent. She'll pop right up to show us that double lap tap. So if you cannot do double unders with a jump rope, we are going to double tap the lap. And she is just trying to time. Tap her lap twice while her feet are in the air. You'll do that 50 times, or if I could trade places with you, you'll do a double under with the rope, which means to get the rope under your feet twice. Okay. Next we have, you'll do 25 pull-ups, but if you can't do pull-ups, you can do ring rows. Peggy, why don't you go ahead and show us? Palms down, you'll pull elbows close to the rib cage and back. Now let's just go up and down. Up and down. Try not to pause so long at the time. Up and down and up and down time. So those are the pulls you'll do instead of pull-ups. Then you'll do 50 lunges, Peggy. If you just give us 4 alternating reps. 1, 2. She's just giving you a little demonstration time. And then after those lunges, you'll go back to sit-ups. You'll repeat the lap taps or double unders. And we're going to have her demo a couple of burpees, her most favorite exercise in the world. And again, if you can't do any of that stuff, or you can't do a lot of that stuff right now, that's okay. Pick another workout for yourself. Here are a couple burpees if you'd like them to look like. Quads and chest touch the ground. Let's aim for 3, Peggy. That's it. Hands, kick the feet back. Knees, quads, chest. Burpees! That'll be it for the workout. Go ahead and set your timer to 12 minutes. If you have to go a little bit longer, that's okay. It's just kind of a nice little game you can play with yourself for an added challenge.